Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please stand and welcome three-time heavyweight champion of the world, Mr. Evander Holyfield. Yeah. Evander Holyfield. Four-time, he says. Four-time, sorry, four-time, my bad. I'll tell you what, I would not want to be in the ring against this guy. You need that. This is a imposing figure. Jeez. Thank you so much, Evander, for coming out here today. We really, really appreciate it. I have some questions prepared for me. You've been known to say that determination has no limits. Can you tell us more about how determination has played a vital role in your life?
Well, determination is a big part of my life because, I was the youngest of 9 in my family. And, being the youngest of 9, you actually think that they're supposed to let you win. My brothers and sisters never let me win. So, of course, when I don't win, I start crying. And I go to my mama and tell my mama, they never let me win, Mom. My mama said they don't supposed to. And, and I cried. Then one day, I got an opportunity to go to the boys club. When I got to the boys club, I found out that my brothers and sisters, they were getting the best of me because they were all of them older than me. And they knew the game and I didn't know the game. And so they put me in a position with kids my age. I was 6 years old. And so they put me with 6, 7, 8 years old. I found out I was the fastest one. And so I started winning. And I was just so happy, and I go home and tell my mama what I've done. She said, I told you, if you don't quit, you'll get there. But I used to ask my mama when, because I want to know now, because I want to win now. I wasn't trying to wait later. And then all of a sudden, one day, I come off the football field, and I seen people boxing. And so I was just sitting there looking, and I seen the guy hitting the speed bag. The speed bag make a lot of noise. So noise get kids' attention. So I kind of figured life would have been to me being able to find something you can do that somebody else couldn't do, where you can tell them I could do something they couldn't do. Because everybody did that with me because, like when I was a kid, and my mom didn't read, my father didn't read, so I remember crying because I repeated what the guy said. He said, Mary ran. I said, Mary ran. Then the page changed, and it came down, and then they said he can't read, and they start laughing at me. So I got up there and hit that guy in the eye. And they called my mama, and my mama whooped me real good in front of everybody. Make me apologize to the kid and to the teacher, and said, he do that again, call me and I'll put it on him again. And I realized that I didn't like getting embarrassed. So I never did that again.
Yeah. Now, where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Atlanta.
Ah, awesome. About a decade ago, when asked what does Evander Holyfield brand represent, you said your brand represents something that's strong and everlasting. And that's what life is all about. It's strong and it's consistent. You still feel that way today?
I still feel this way today, and I feel that love is the key. My mama wanted me to be better than she was. She said, son, love, love is by love. My mother would let me know what love is. Love said, my mom said, I love you so much, I want you to be better than me. I don't want you to be like me. And my mama told me, she said, I got bad habits. She said, you'll have some one day, but I don't want you to have mine. She said, I don't like mine myself. I know I'm not gonna like yours. So, so these are things, and the three things was listen, follow direction, and don't quit. She said, son, if you do these three things, you're gonna be great. And, with me, I got to do what my mama said anyway. So I got an opportunity to see these things come to pass in my life. So I go to the boys club, and the coach named Carter Morgan, when he seen me hit the bag, he told me, he said, wow, you are good. He said, do you know you could be the heavyweight champion of the world? And I'm 8 years old. He said, you could be the heavyweight champion of the world. And I told him, I'm only 8 years old. And he told me, he said, you won't always be 8. When he said that, I believed him. Because next week, I was going to be 9. And so life is about believing. And so he said, and he looked at me, he said, so you can be the heavyweight champion of the world. I looked at him, he said, can you? So he wanted me to say yes. I said, I got to ask my mama. And he looked at me, then he rephrased the word and changed it up like I can do it. And I looked at him, I said, I can't do it unless my mama say I can do it. Like this. And he looked at me and said, you know what? I said, no, sir. He said, you got a good mama. And now I was questioning about that because I know he didn't know my mom. But, knowing today that he realized that people who do what their parents asked them to do are the ones that become successful. So I went home. I remember coming home and all my brothers and sisters, I'm the youngest of 9. I go in there and my brothers and sisters are watching TV and they see me. They say, where you going? I said, I got to ask mama. What you gonna go ask mama? I never wanted my brothers and sisters to know because my brothers and sisters, they always tell me, mama only saying that because she mama. And she's saying it because she mama, not because it's right. So what I did, they tried to grab me and I went up, so I get close to my mom. I said, mama, I said, this white man at the boys club named Mr. Morgan said I can be just like Muhammad Ali. And my mama said, what? So my mama get that look on her face, I know to step back because she may swing. She said, do you know what they're gonna do to you? I said, well, no, ma'am. She said, they're gonna hit you like this. And now I get 3 whoopings a day already, And all my brothers and sisters, they can hit me. I can't hit them back. I can't hit them back because they tell me what to do. And so if they tell me to do something wrong, they get the whooping. So all I got to do is just do what they said do. And I won't get no whooping. So all I got to do is say, mama, they told me to do it. And so because that, my mama said, well, they're going to hit you. And I smiled and said, well, mama, I get 3 whoopings a day anyway. And my mama told me I can hit them back. And she said, you could be the heavyweight champion of the world. My mama tell me that. I can't wait till the next day to get back to that boys club and tell Mr. Morgan what my mama said. When school was over, I go to the boys club, and at 6 o'clock, Mr. Morgan come in there. I said, Mr. Morgan, my mama said I could be the heavyweight champion of the world. And he was shocked. He said, oh, wait a minute. He said, Evander. he said, he said, he said, let me tell you something. Because, he told me, he said, he was 64 years old already. He was telling me, he said, he says, it's two things. He said, one is one of, he said, he was telling me, he said, one thing is about a fantasy, one thing is a goal. He said, let me tell you what a goal is. He said, goal when you want to be something and you work at it. He said, that's what a goal is. And now the fantasy is you want to be something and you not work at it. He said, fantasy or goal? I said, goal. He said, okay, you fight in 3 days. Like this. And I go, yes, sir. So my mama told him, I gave him the number to call my mama, because my mama had to talk to you before she let me go somewhere with you. And my mama told him, now, wherever you take my son, you better bring him back. You better not come back. Like this, and that was it. And Miss Morgan told me that. And my first fight, Miss Morgan said, I talked to your mama. She said 3 things. Listen, follow direction, don't quit. He said, now, you see that kid there in front of you? I said, yes, sir. He said, when the bell ring, I want you to run out as fast as you can and hit him in the nose. You understand that? I said, yes, sir. He said, all right, now, do what your mama said. And man, I remember the glove reached me all the way to the elbow at that time, and I had to hang it on because they were heavy. And when that bell rang, I ran out there, and that kid ran out there. Then when we got in the center ring, he closed his eyes. I didn't close my eyes. I hit him so hard in the face, and he started crying. And the referee stopped the fight. and my boxing coach, who was so excited that 64 years old, got stuck in the ring rope trying to get in there. And when he looked at me, he said, do you know what you did? And I said, well, you told me to hit him. He said, yeah, you took your first step in being the heavyweight champ of the world. And that time, I got this trophy. I take it home to my mama. When my mama seen that trophy, and she put it on the shelf, and everybody who came in the house would say, Miss Holyfield, who is the boxer? And she would smile, and she said, that little one right there. And they said, well, he's small. My mama said, but he can fight. And so I knew how to get my mama excited. So every time I win, I bring the trophy, and this is how the career started.
Wow. You had a nickname, The Real Deal. And it's interesting because I got a nickname, The Real Thing. I got my nickname because I was at a winners event for the winners, and somebody said, is what Clint does like what this other guy does? And my mentor, Dan Kennedy, he said, no, Clint does the real thing. How'd you get your nickname, The Real Deal?
Well, it came out, my friends and stuff, my friends, them, back then they had CB, they talked on the CB. And so one guy named Papa Charlie and all this, and the break 19, and they talking on this thing. So they told me, you got to get a handle on yourself. So I ain't have no money getting on all this stuff. So I'm like, well then, so I go to a club. And somebody, so they know my name, Holyfield. They said, what's the deal, Holyfield? And I said, what? He said, what's the deal? I ain't know all that slango, I'm like, what you talking about? He said, man, real deal. And it sound good, and it rhymed with Holyfield. So I got that name because they said that, and I go back, So I go back and tell my guy that do the CB, I said, I just call me real deal. And so I'm talking on the CB, I'm the real deal from Bright Light City, Atlanta, Georgia, you know. And that's how that name came. Then, of course, when I go to the Olympics, I got a raw deal because I knocked everybody out. And the last guy I knocked out, I got disqualified, but had a good attitude. Because I had a good attitude, I'm the one got the television contract. So my friends didn't want to call me raw deal. I said, no, I'm gonna stick with the real deal. And that's how real deal became the name.
Right on. How have you diversified your personal brand since leaving the ring?
Well, I've been able to take what my brand and tell people all around the world how boxing itself have changed the life of people. Because, me being the boxer that I am, and it's about spirit, soul, and body. When nobody really know how it is to go in that ring mentally, knowing that the person you fight is just as good as you, work just as hard as you, he want to win too. He have a right to win just like I have a right to win. So boxing is good for your spirit, your soul, and your body. And it take all those disciplines. You listen, because you're not going to ever win if you don't listen. If you don't follow direction, you're not going to win. If you quit, you're definitely not going to do it. So those are three things. Now, because I came up in church, and my mama told me, said, we can't do nothing without the Lord now. So you make sure you give God the credit for what you do. You're not going to be nothing if you don't give him the credit. I done it. And more that I told people, I said, well, I don't know one way to do it, but to do it like God. Love is the key to success. And and everything that I told people, I said, I do what my mama tell me to do. I said, I do what my grandmama tell me to do. I said, look, ain't nothing ever gonna go wrong, but anything is supposed to work for you. I stuck to it, and being the younger kid and coming up, because I stuck to the word, I became who I am, the real deal. And the real deal represent who God is. God is really the real deal. I'm a son of God, and so I'm the real deal junior. And I go out and, because it's about love. It's about love. But you have to love people for who they are, not for what you want them to be. And that's the ultimate the test of love. And I'm that type of person. I don't love you for what I want you to be. I have to love you for who you are. And this is how God showed his love for us, by letting us go through the things that we go through to be able to change and not to give up on him. I never give up on God, so I don't have to worry about him giving up on me. And I've been taught that from the time I was a kid, when I didn't have nothing, to having millions.
Awesome. Speaking of having millions, a friend of yours, Mr. Mike Tyson, is scheduled to fight on the 12th of September in another professional bout, making a comeback. I know you've been training. I see you've been training. When he came up here on stage, I was like, wow, how terrifying it would be to be in the boxing ring facing you. Do you have any plans to go make more professional fights?
Well, the saying is this: Mike Tyson was training, and I was training, and I was just training to train, because my mama told me, my mother's not with me anymore, but my mother, before she passed, she said, you know what? She said, you should never get out of shape because you've been doing it your whole life. She said, only way you can get that way is you lazy. He said, son, you weren't called to be lazy. So stay up on what you know to do. Now, I was the kid that I just get in trouble all the time because I always wanted to do what somebody else do. And my mama convinced me that I'm your mama, I'm not they mama. I tell you what to do. Like this. So now all that allowed me to be who I am because the fact of the matter, the Word of God tell you, God love you for who you are. He want to make the changes in you for you being who you are, not trying to be like somebody else. So you have to be thankful. You have to be thankful for who you are. And so, even as a kid, I wasn't the smallest, I wasn't the tallest. I was always in the middle where that I just felt that, why can't something happen for me? So my mama promised me, if you, son, be thankful for what you have and who you are, God gonna bless you. And I was able to, I'm the youngest of 9, so my brothers and sisters, my mama worked 10 to 10 when they was coming up. So my mama had a heart attack when I was a kid. So I got caught in everything. I got more whooping than everybody. And so I became right because my mama was there. So I'm always telling people, if my mama wouldn't have had that heart attack, ain't no telling how I would have been. Because my mama had that heart attack, she was there with me. And she didn't quit. Because my mama told me, she said, son, do you not know that after all the kids, I started to abort you, but I chose not to. And look what I have. And so my mama was just so thrilled. And my mama said she never got a raise ever when she worked. Because she couldn't contain her tongue. Now, everything that people give me praise on, they talk about me keeping my conduct, how I hold my tongue and all that, because my mama wanted me to be better than her. So my mama told me, she said, son, I worked everybody, but because I couldn't hold my tongue, I never got a raise. She said, they do not give people a raise who are fool. So don't be a fool. Like this, and here I am.
Here you are, 4-time world heavyweight champion and multiple best-selling author. Why are you writing books? Why are you doing that?
So what?
Why are you writing books?
Well, I guess when they say ghostwriters, they write what you say. But the thing is that the thing about the next generation, because I have kids and I think that just if it wasn't for my mama and wasn't for the people who tell my mama stuff, because you know what, my mama never would have got a chance to get me if then nobody else tell her. And so when they talking about being raised by a village, that just before I curse, I was gonna look at everybody to see, do anybody know my mama? Because I know if you told my mama that I curse, I was gonna get it later. So, which allowed me not to curse, and like this, and it's amazing that that the village, the people that are out there know your parents. If they tell on you, you'll stop that. Like with me, after 12, 13 years old, I didn't want to get a whooping no more because I know my mama embarrassed me anyway. So I became who I am, the discipline. Somebody telling you what's going to happen, because you'll find out a lot of kids don't like getting embarrassed. Embarrassment is a bad thing to kids, but it'll change them. I would change. I would change it. I'm happy, and I tell my kids, I said, now, I'm telling you now, don't try me now. Don't try me.
All right, last question. What is the most important thing you ever learned, champ?
Well, the most important thing is God himself. I learned that if you have the love of God, you can love everybody. And because I learned that at an early age, and I got a chance to see my mother live it, and so it's just as if I go out to do something for my friends and they take advantage of me, I have to know that that's wrong. And I'm not going to do it to somebody else. And because they done that, because that's the time, every time something bad happened to me, something good would happen right behind it if I passed the test. I'm saying, like I tell everybody, I didn't choose my mama. I said, because I probably wouldn't have chose her. If like this, I said, I didn't choose my daddy. I didn't choose my brothers and sisters. I said, now, but the Bible said all good things come from the Lord. And I had a good mama. But I can't stand here and brag about that like I chose her, I didn't choose her. Like this, and so there's so many things in life you didn't choose, but God wants you to be able to appreciate, because if you can be able to appreciate these things, you'll be able to make the adjustment and be able to love your kids and do the proper things for them.
Evander Holyfield, ladies and gentlemen. Great interview. Great interview. Evander Holyfield.